Well, we are joined at this hour by senior journalist Shaji Chako. We are also joined by Indian cricket fan Rishi Chabra. We are waiting for former cricketer Ritendra Sodhi to join in. Well, Shaji, coming to you, could this be the dress rehearsal for the final, though both the teams still have to get there?
Yes, Rika, I think you made a very valid point there. This could just be that the curtain raiser before the final. Mind you, there are two things though, Rika, I must say. India has looked invincible. They had trampled all over the opposition. We have been convincing in each and every win. South Africa, barring that glitch, that draw, that loss, that shocking loss to Netherlands, they also more or less, masked their way through to the semi-finals. Now these two, it's not a question of who is going to top this match or who's. I think it's more of assessing each other's weakness going into. So this match for me, even though it's an important match, but this also shows how well prepared India will be to take on South Africa if both these teams make it to the final, and conversely the same dictum applies for South Africa.
Well, I also have Rishi on the show with me. Rishi has been travelling through the length and breadth of the country, following Team India. Rishi, tell us, if you had a chance of getting into Indian team's camps just ahead of the match, how does the energy of the side look like?
Well, Rika, a side that's winning all their games, 7 win out of 7. I think the energy is on top of the world right now, because there's nothing else that any sportsman would want other than winning. And the kind of the cricket that the entire team has been playing, the brand of cricket that we've been playing so far in the tournament, be it our batters, minus the small hiccup that we had against Australia,
Rishi,
where we were 3 wickets down for 2 runs. Yes, I am in Calcutta at the moment right now. Yes, I'm about to leave for the stadium after this show.
Yeah, it must be lakhs of people swarming into Eden Gardens at this hour.
Because
did you manage to catch the Indian team in practice yesterday?
I was there. Yes, I was there at the stadium, and like I said, the morals are very high. They're really looking forward to this game because it's the top 2 teams that are playing against each other. And like Sir said on the show as well, it's a probable, a dress rehearsal for the finals as well. South Africa is my pick for the finals. And the way things are going, I think it's going to be that ways. And like I said, the teams are doing well. The players are confident that they will perform well today as well.
Ritendra Sodhi, former cricketer, also on the show with us. Ritendra, we know South Africa loves to bat first and India loves to chase. Now, if India manages to win the toss in Eden Gardens, should they put South Africa to bowl today and bat first?
Yeah, definitely, Rika. That's a very, very important point. But if we talk about India, they have batted first and they have chased also, and they have not faltered. But if we talk about South Africa, they are batting first. They look a top side. But when we talk about their chasing, somewhere there can be loopholes, and they haven't been tested in those waters. And that is where India would like to bring them in. And I'm sure, as my friend just said, that India, South Africa, there can be finals. Definitely, yes. But I somehow feel that South Africa might have tough times from here on, because they need to chase, and batting under pressure can be acid test. And that is where I'm sure India will have an advantage.
Shaji, Ritendra says batting second will be challenge for South Africa. Do you think that that will be a challenge because the way the Indian bowlers have performed, or do you think that they are not really? I mean, whether the Indian performance of the Indian bowlers is going to challenge them, or South Africa is mentally not there to chase?
Well, we all know, Rika, the Indian bowling unit led by Jasprit Bumrah is the best, is the pick of the whole tournament. There are no two opinions on that. And as Ritendra said, like we also discussed just before the show, I think the susceptibility of this South African team would be in chasing a big total, and that too against quality fast bowlers and quality spinners. Mind you, I must say that the South African batting is firing. De Kock coming on top of the order. You've got Because a lot of those people, Markram, you got David Miller. I mean, if you were to look batsman to batsman, I think the batting lineup is more or less similar to India's, which is actually strong. But I think the go for India, the big honors for India would be to set a target for them and put South Africa into pressure, because I think South Africans have not lived down that tag of chokers. That chokers tag is somehow, somewhere still stuck on with them. So I think we should bat, having win the toss, and post a big total and make life miserable for South Africa when they bat second time.
Ritendra, a quick comment from you on the chokers tag that South Africans have had, and just now Shaji mentioned about it. Do you think they still have the chokers tag?
Look, Rika, South Africa has played brilliant cricket, and definitely when we talk about chokers, choking is at crucial moments, the knockout stages of any tournament. That is where pressure is different. It's a different ball game. There's a pressure cooker scenario, and I'm sure this is a league phase, and once semi-final arrives, many teams will feel the pressure, and that is where South Africa has faltered many a times. And I'm sure with India blazing all cylinders, they are not being complacent. India looks favourite at the moment. But yes, when semi-final begin, the pressure will be different. It's the World Cup, and whichever teams handles these pressures well in the knockout stages, they will prosper and win the World Cup.
Okay, well, one record that the Indian fans have been waiting for is Virat Kohli's 49th century to tie with Sachin Tendulkar. It's a special occasion in Eden Gardens because it is also his 35th birthday. Whether he'll make it memorable or not with that century, we'll have to wait and see. Rishi, coming back to you, did you see Virat Kohli in the nets yesterday, and what does it really look like for him, and what have the fans been talking about this potential century that we have been waiting for?
Well, Rika, I've been very fortunate to be at almost all the practice sessions at the India Games, and the kind of batting that Virat is doing right now, it is very evident in the net session that he's very comfortable with his shots. He's playing freely. There's no pressure on him. And for a change, being his birthday today, there'll be, more limelight and more eyes on him performing well, rather than, people talking that India is winning the World Cup. So a bit of more added pressure on him. I'm sure he would like to get past Sachin Tendulkar's record of 49 centuries. But at the end of the day, when you get on that field, you don't really think of personal milestones. It depends on how the match situation is, but it has to come one day. It will eventually. It's just that, given the situation that the World Cup's happening in India and it's a big stage, fans are really hoping that it happens today. And fingers crossed. And like I said, he looks in brilliant touch. He's been playing good cricket. The centuries are back, and hopefully we should see a good knock from him today.
Ritendra, do you think he will be under pressure today for that 100 number 49?
Arika, you have covered him a lot. Pressure, when you talk about Virat Kohli, it's not in his dictionary. He has been a phenomenal player, a true record breaker, a true legend. When World Cup started, we were all talking that India has good chances, but all lied with Virat Kohli. His form was paramount, and the way he has hit the form, we are lucky that he is prospering in this tournament. We are doing well, we look good, but we have to accept that lot depends on the form of Virat Kohli. When semi-final game, Virat Kohli has to fire, and I'm sure milestones will come and go. But this World Cup has to be historic for Team India, and all Virat Kohli will surely get his century number 40. Maybe today, maybe in the coming games, but the focus will be entirely on the World Cup.
Coming back to you, Shaji, we'll have to talk about another phenomenal performer leading the charge for South Africa, Quinton de Kock, with 545 runs in this tournament, 4 centuries. He's the highest run getter in this World Cup. Would you say much of the spotlight will be on him today as well?
Absolutely, Rika. He's like the dark horse, or he's like the X factor of the tournament for me. I mean, let's keep our sights away from India for a moment. Who's the guy? I mean, he's a quiet warrior. He's a quite silent soldier. You know, I mean, before this tournament, who of us would have thought? Forget about the pundits. Even his most ardent fans, could they have imagined? De Kock coming up with knock after knock, century after century, reeling off century after being the highest scorer.
And
Unbelievable, phenomenal.
this is his last World Cup, perhaps the last ODI tournament.
Right.
Well, quickly from all three of you, one player to look out for in South Africa side and in India. Ritendra, if I can start with you.
For me, Shubman Gill, he has been doing well. His form in the last game was actually a breather for Team India, and he has to carry his good form. His knock right up the order is very important to set the platform for coming in batsmen like Virat Kohli or Shreyas Iyer. And if we talk about South Africa, as Saji has been talking, Kock has looked like a rock. You have to rattle him up the order to get that momentum while bowling. And India knows that. If you get Kock, somehow the pressure will mount on South Africa.
Right. Rishi, for you, one player from each side?
India, Rohit Sharma, because he did not perform well in the last.
This is also his favourite ground,
for just 4 runs on the second delivery. Yes, and its favourite ground. He scored a double century here, and he loves playing at the Eden Gardens. So Rohit Sharma for me, and Quinton de Kock for South Africa, because the kind of cricket that he's been playing, high on confidence, and South Africa needs him. They need him today to give them a good start if they want to win this game against India.
Shaji, for you?
Rika, for me, Rohit Sharma, because yes, to the point of being repetitive, it's his favourite ground. He's scored a double century. Of course, Virat also is very crucial. There's no gainsaying. But one player for me from India, Rohit Sharma, without batting an eyelid. South Africa, no doubt at all, no prices for guessing. De Kock, that's the guy. That's the guy who has to fire for them.